Hello, my name is William. I'm 25 years old, and this is CWSS Conversations with the Self-Sabotager. I'm a little late, like Friday, but hey, I'm here. If you're waiting for the episode on Monday, I am so sorry. I just got caught up. I had a lot of work this week. I would say work, but I didn't get paid. So labor, free labor. But it was fine. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. And it's leading to good things, a lot of new things. My life is getting turned upside down. I'm not going to keep going, but you know what song I was thinking of. Okay, where should we start? Let's start with Tuesday. Start with Tuesday, because Monday not a lot happened. Let me see what happened Monday. Monday, I put back my black and white scans that I'm going to be receiving on Saturday. Super excited for that. So tomorrow. And then on Tuesday, I bought a colorful one. What's it called? A color film. Yeah, normal film, I guess. And I went ham. I just took like a bunch of pictures. That same Tuesday, I delivered my film to the place where I bought it. By the way, it's $15 now. I remember when you could buy this shit for $7. Just saying. But anyway, so I bought it, took a bunch of pictures the same day, brought it back, boom. I got the pictures on Wednesday, super hyped with them. But something cool happened on Tuesday. So Tuesday, I went out, took street photography, as I do. And I bumped into this guy I took photos of. And he's like, yo, can I get your Instagram? So I can see your work. I'm like, yeah, definitely. So I give him my Instagram. And the same night he hits me up saying, yo, tomorrow on Wednesday, we have a conference and we don't have a photographer. Would you be willing to do the photography for it? I'm like, heck yes. But I already had something planned for Wednesday early afternoon. So it didn't really clash with it. It didn't mind. Or I didn't mind. I didn't know I'd be so tired afterwards, but golly, I was weak. So Wednesday rolls around and I've got Nina's coffee shop. So excited. This is like the coolest thing I managed to get myself ever. This is in correlations with one of the episodes we had earlier, where I took the first step and I went to Nina's coffee shop and I asked them if I could take pictures and they said yes. We postponed it till this Wednesday because they were busy the previous Wednesday. So cool, whatever happens. I get there and they're super welcoming. Hey, do you want a cup of coffee? Do you want something to eat? I'm like, yeah, I'll take something to eat. They're like, yeah, we can't give it to you for free. I'm like, you know what? It's fine. This experience is going to be sublime anyway. This is something I want to do, so I don't mind paying. I should have just got a cup of coffee. I'm kidding. The cake was amazing. So I start taking pictures and I just go up to people. I'm just like at the restaurant, at the cafe. I'm like, yo, listen, I'm the photographer for the day. I hope you don't mind if I take pictures of you or if your foot or your body is in the picture. They're like, oh, no, don't worry. Do you need me to do anything? Like a lot of people were willing to act for me. And I was like, this is perfect. So I used a lot of them to my advantage. I would go up to them and I would take pictures of them while they're sipping, while they're writing in their book, while they're working, while they're on the phone, like just to showcase like, it's a really hangout zone, or you can work here, or you can, just get a cup of coffee with some friends. And I got a really good amount of photos in there. So I'm really happy with that. And then I went to the conference, and the conference was also really cool. I got to take a lot of pictures of people just sitting down and one guy explaining like whatever he was explaining. And then the conference took a really weird turn where they started shouting. I don't know how to explain it. It was very interesting. If you truly want a visual experience of the conference, you have to DM me because I'm not putting it anywhere on socials. I'm just going to send you the link. You play it, and then I'm going to delete the link because I don't want you spreading this misinformation around the universe. It's mine, okay? It's mine and those people alone. So, fast forward. Thursday, I'm like, I get a brilliant idea. I'm like, okay, I did Nina's coffee. And I did something else because I assumed I was only going to have Nina's coffee for like a little bit, but I did something else the same day. Let's make a website. Boom. You've heard the adverts a million times. And I heard them so many times, they're engraved in my head. I'm like, Squarespace. And I just go onto Squarespace and I just start typing. I asked my friend Domi, thank you so much for the help. And she helped me really just put the website together and really just get a vision of how I really liked it and what I wanted from the website. So it looks really nice, in my opinion. If you want to check it out, it is in my bio on Instagram, I think. But it's also on the top of the screen right now. And it will be in a link in the description as well. So yeah, if you're not clicking on it, you just dislike me. Also, it's gonna be on Spotify description as well. I don't know if you can click on those. I don't think so, but you can, copy paste it onto your browser of choice. So yeah, that was my week. We're now Friday. And yeah, I'm really excited, really pumped for the last episode of the season coming up very soon. And when I say very soon, I mean like in 2 Mondays. Because that one's actually going to be on time because it's already planned. Boom. I just need one more situation. I'm not going to tell you again. No one knows what it is. Only the people that have worked with me on it know. So anyway, to this episode, what we are talking about. We are talking about three things as usual. I'm going to flip it up. I'm going to switch it up a little bit because I didn't like the 3 things. So we're going to talk about taking the first step, which I talked about a little bit in the little synopsis in the beginning of the week. Then forgiving yourself. And lastly, perfection. Now, as a self-sabotager, you know what perfection is. We'll talk about it at the end. Okay, so taking the first step. Just like taking the initiative, what's it called? That thing, hitting the thingy when it's hot. Something like that. You know what? I gotta stop trying to say sayings because I don't even know them like that. But no. Taking the first step is very important in day-to-day things, day-to-day challenges, day-to-day self-sabotaging. Because, as a self-sabotager, we like to sit back and wait. We just wait and contemplate on why it's not fair that we have to wait while other people are getting what they deserve or something like that. I remember sitting back and watching, I don't know, was it a comedian? Maybe it must have been a comedian. So I was watching this comedian. I'm like, man, I could do that. I could definitely do that. I'm pretty sure it was Kevin Hart or something. Like, I'm as funny as that guy. While I'm sitting on my ass, watching him, not doing anything about it, not writing down a joke or filming a skit or, just making something that would revolve around me actually proving that I am as good or if not better than this person, right? So you can talk all you want and people will listen. But if you don't show people things, no one cares. And honestly, you don't care either. You can talk as much as you want. But if you don't show yourself results, you don't care. All you're doing is saying words. It's like reading a book, There's only so much you can say until you have to do it. And then when you start doing it now, that's when the beauty comes. And that's when everything's opens up to you. It's like, whoa, this world is so bigger than I thought, And that's what I'm getting right now. Like while I do photography, I realized, man, I was so not closed-minded, definitely not, but I had narrowed my vision to the possibilities of creativity because all I saw was what I wanted to see. All I saw was things that interested me or things that were very much in my field of view in the sense of I didn't care about everything else because I was like, yeah, this is me. This is what I want to do. Everything else doesn't matter. But now that I started doing street photography, I'm so much more open to trying different things and just seeing how different things work. And I've been trying to take the first step in all of those areas, such as going to the conference. Like I had Nina's coffee booked and this new thing came along. And in my head, I was like a little bit contemplating. I'm like, damn, if I say yes to this, but I'm too tired or I don't do a good job at Nina's coffee, I'll be demotivated to go there. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, let's do both. We'll feel how we feel, but at least we did them, And I'm so happy I did because now, look at me. I'm talking about it in a positive light because I did a good job. And if I did a bad job, I'd be talking about it in a negative light, but at least I did it, A lot of times, I would prefer not doing things because that's the safest way to do it. If you don't do it, it's not done, and no one can say it's done or dead, or not, or it's done or not done. Yeah. So I don't know how to put it. I don't know if anyone has ever had that feeling. It's just like, okay, if I don't do this work, I think this is why I didn't do my homework a lot. If I don't do this work, it's blank. They can't see my personality. But if I do this work and it's not good, then they're going to be mad at me for it not being good. So I'd prefer not doing the work. And it's a very bad mindset. Again, I'm getting better as a person. I'm trying, okay? But this is who I am. This is what I am. I'm just telling you the truth. It might be very weird to hear as someone that might be quote unquote normal or also feels the same way I do, but just in a different way. But yeah, this is very much something that's deeply rooted inside my being. And the fact that I was able to do two things in the same day that were kind of pressuring me really makes me happy. Honestly, just makes me happy because I get to see myself grow, you know? I do them both for free. I'm gonna start charging now because I got a website. But it's also really motivating to know that like my view on the world, what I see when I take pictures, is being translated well enough for other people to view what I do good enough for their own usage. I hope that sentence made sense because I'm not gonna go back on that. I don't know what I said. And so it's really driving me to just keep going and keep trying different things and just have like this sense of effort all the time. And it's really rewarding. My brother was watching this YouTube video yesterday or the day before where this guy said, always perform at 100%. Because if you don't always perform at 100%, the day you have to perform at 100%, you won't even know what it's like. You'll be exhausted, but you did it once. But if you do it all the time, you won't know what less is. And I realized like, maybe I completely wrongly paraphrased that. So I'm sorry if I butchered it. Whoever said that, some great philosopher or something. But for me, what I got from that was the more I try, the more easier it is to try harder. Because I'm already like chilling at a good solid 80. I'm at 80. I'm not really at 100 because that's a lot of work. But I'm at a solid 80. And when I try a little harder, and then I get more in the groove and I'm more in the zone and I'm out there just taking pictures, or I'm out there like talking to people and learning about their lives after I take a picture, it's like, man, this is what I do it for. You know, this feels so good. This feels so alive. I feel alive and it feels so good. So yeah, that's really fun. It really, really is. I don't know how to explain it, but that was a really cool week and I'm excited for more. You know, I have to book my own things, of course, but I'm really prosperous in my mind that things are going to go well. Moving on to number 2, forgiving yourself. I want to get forgiving yourself out of the way because number 3 is really big for me. So forgiving yourself is something that I still struggle with. Because I don't hold a lot of things in. In the sense of like holding grudges or being mad at other people. I really hold things in on myself. Like, why didn't you do this better? Or, oh, you know, if you did that, then you'd have had this. Or just a lot of small things I hold myself accountable for when I shouldn't. In the sense of like, I don't deserve to feel bad about these things because they aren't necessarily bad things. So I should stop beating myself up for the things that I feel bad for because they're not that bad. I remember, this is a small example, but I remember like I wasn't able to go to someone's party, right? And so I was like, man, they're gonna be so disappointed in me, man. Like, I let them down and blah, blah, blah. But the day before that, you know, I explained myself Not that I wasn't going to be able to get there, but I explained myself and like how much I like that person as a person. And, we had a really good conversation on one-on-one. And so the following day after the birthday, which I wasn't able to go to, they hit me up and were like, yo, dude, I know you can make it to the party. I was a little bummed out, but, we had a really good conversation the other day. Let's meet up alone and have a cup of coffee, because I think even you being at the party, we wouldn't have had the chance to have the talk we had the day before. And I was like, damn, like maybe here I was overthinking this, whereas I shouldn't have, and maybe that's the wrong example for the situation, but there's a lot of things that happen like that for me, where I really do overthink my own end of the things when it's a story for two most of the time. So you should like kind of calm down, reassess things, and honestly just forgive yourself, because you are not that bad. You're not always the villain. You're not always the problem. You're really not always the problem. You got to start. This is going straight to me, honestly, but you got to stop belittling yourself for the sake of others, because you're pretty amazing. And a lot of people look up to you. You look up to yourself. So, stop. Just stop being mad and sad about the smallest things when there's so much more there for you. That's anyway. And a little caveat. I was just talking to myself right there. If you resonate with that, I feel you. I really do. It's sometimes really hard to forgive yourself, especially if you did something wrong, which I have never done. I'm an angel. I'm a saint. Beautiful human being here. Yeah. What happened next? Let's go. What's number 3 again? Perfection. Perfection. My best friend and my worst enemy. This is gonna be a long one. I think we're gonna get all the way to the end of the podcast with this one. So, perfection is something I think a lot of self-sabotagers go through, but mainly overthinkers. And I think, show of hands, hello, I am one of those overthinkers, perfectionists, blah, blah, blah. A reason why I overthink and reason why I'm a perfectionist. I overthink because I want to make sure when I do it or when I say what I have to say, it's exactly what I wanted to say and it's not misinterpreted. So I think and 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 I think, and I end up not saying anything at all sometimes, or saying the wrong thing and being like, that was enough. But my overthinking before that is so much. It's like I make up full-on stories of what the reaction of the other person could possibly be. I make like how a family tree has like the person that's the root of the tree and then the branches. I make all those branches. I'm like, okay, if I say no to the invitation, then she's gonna bring up the reason why we weren't friends in the first place. And then if I say yes, I won't be able to sleep, and then I have to fail the class that I was trying to pass. So many things. It's really like my brain just eats at every single scenario, which is just stupid. But that's what happens in my mind. So when it comes to perfectionism in that sense, I strive for perfectionism in a lot of things that I do, but I overthink everything that I do, right? I'm doing it less now, which is kind of because of street photography. When I take the picture, that's it. I can't go back. I can't ask the person to pretend he fell again, or I can't ask, I don't know, there's moments and that's it. So there is no perfectionism in street photography. So it's like I'm constantly battling an enemy that we will never win, because I'll never receive perfect and they will never receive, they can never get satisfied. So I'm always, I guess, battling for this, I don't know, I guess it'd be like a tug of war, right? Or pulling a string, and it's neck and neck because none of us are going to win. So, but anyway, back to why I am a perfectionist is I like doing things with a certain amount of grace, right? So I want things that I do to be really good. But the problem with that is sometimes I don't put the time in that deserves or that warrants it to be really, really good. And I end up not butchering it, but speeding up the process, or shortcuts, or hell, I don't even post it at all, or I don't do anything with it at all, or I don't stick to the routine because it wasn't perfect enough, or I wasn't feeling what I wanted to feel because in my head I deserve to feel this way because I started doing it 6 days ago, you know. And it's such a flawed mindset. Like, it's so bad. And I don't know if anyone else is a perfectionist, but my goodness, it's like a constant battle. We're always tired. And we're not even tired at anyone else. We're just tired of ourselves. We're just like, brother, chill. It's good enough. And in our heads, we're like, no, it's not. It's not good enough, man. It has to be better. I need this to look like that. I need the picture to be like picture perfect. I need the date to be. Ever try setting up a date as a perfectionist? Hey, Lee. It's like, wait a minute. This wasn't supposed to be like that. This one's supposed to be like, oh my God, it's over. She's gonna break up with me, you know? And I find myself doing that way less. I'm really just living in the moment and trying my best not to stress over like the smallest things, because in the end, all I can control is myself, right? So I can't control the weather. I can't control if my camera breaks. I can't control if, I don't know, I wake up grumpy, you know. I guess I could control that, yeah, maybe, but there's small things that you just can't control. You should just let it be in the wind, you know, just let it fly away. It'll come back, maybe it won't come back, you know, just, it's fine. Get that peace of mind that you need. Calm down, breathe, inhale, exhale, forgive yourself, you know, and then take that step. Take the step again. You might have taken a few steps back. That's fine. You're not perfect. So just go again. Take that step again. And this time, try something different. This time, the step that you're taking has knowledge behind it, because, you know, you're trying to strive for perfection and you realize you couldn't make it. But now you know how to get closer to better or greater or greatness. It doesn't have to be perfect, because that's impossible. Unless you look like me. No, that's impossible. So, you know, just really just look at yourself when you start thinking or overthinking, and just like breathe in, then breathe out, and then say something along the lines of like, okay, fine. This is good enough. This doesn't need to be edited another hour. This does not need to be tweaked so all the subtitles are aligned perfectly. That's what I do all the time, and I gotta stop doing that. It's just fine. And this is perfectly fine. Everything that you're doing so far is perfectly fine. You just gotta be more determined mentally. You just gotta make sure that you're not scared to fail. Failing is scary, don't get me wrong. Fucking hell, failing is scary. But I think it's more scary to know that you didn't even try than to fail already, you know? And I'll take that any day of the week. I think I realized that when I even started, not just street photography, but when I quit my job, I realized every day that I spend just enjoying life is better than every day I spent being tired and bored and annoyed and mad at myself behind the bar at work, you know? I mean, maybe those things don't really align. They don't sound the same, but they sound the same in my head. So we're going to keep that in there. I think we finished the 3 points. I thought perfectionism was going to be a bit longer. Maybe because I'm battling it a bit better than I used to be, it's not as long. But there's definitely been times where like I've literally failed homework because I was trying to make it perfect. And that's coming from someone that barely does their homework. So, you know, that's just how bad it used to be. So I'm really happy with myself and the strides I'm taking. And I also hope that you guys are happy with yourselves and what you're doing in your life. If it's not creativeness and it's, I don't know, you're getting better at work, or you're getting better at talking to people, or you're getting better at going out to the gym, going out for walks, looking at your phone list. Like these small things, you got to take those into consideration, because this is making you a better person in your own eyes. No one can be a better person because they work out more or because they eat healthier. Like you only know what you are better at. That's it. No one else knows oh, unless it's, health related and you're dying, no one knows what is good for you. They can recommend, but you know what's good for you. You know that, okay, I can't eat this seventh burger today. Or, okay, maybe I will call my mom to hear her opinion instead of asking Pascal, the gym teacher. I don't know. I should not have said that. Yeah, no, it's an interesting adventure that I'm on right now, because I started this podcast to talk to myself about going off the rails and sabotaging my own happiness, but I'm slowly realizing that I'm becoming happier. And man, does it feel good. And I feel like it's showing in my body language, and the people around me are noticing it. When I was in Nina's coffee shop, this guy asked me, like, so is this your job? And I'm like, I guess technically I don't have a job anymore. And he's like, well, why didn't you have a job anymore? And I explained that I quit, and I just wanted to live life and all that. And he's like, my students asked me if I could have any other job than a teacher, what would it be? And I've always been a teacher. He was an older person. He's like, I've been a teacher for like 40 years. I'm like, damn. And he's like, yeah, I've been a teacher for this long, and I love it. I've never once gone to work and been like, man, I have to teach kids. I've had hard students, or I've had, tough days, but nothing beats, teaching people and seeing them come back the next day and them having actually learned, or them coming back in that few months and them being like, oh, now I get it. He said that lit up his day every year that he's been working there. And I was like, that must feel so good, And coming from someone that, he just asked me this because he was curious to see me taking photos. The fact that I was able to kind of relate, I was getting this sense of like radiance coming up from him, and I could feel it in myself. I was like, man, I feel like that. Like these pictures that I'm taking right now here, right now, is exactly where I want to be. The fact that I'm having this conversation with someone that I don't know, but they're also living the same truth that I'm living in a different way, was so exciting. And it like broke down this wall that I was, I guess, putting in front of myself to play the part or to look the part. I can't look anymore as a photographer than holding a camera in my hands. Maybe if I had like a hat written photographer on it. But the people listened to me. They were like, yo, they didn't even question. I said, could you pretend you're drinking from your cup? And they were drinking from their cup. Can I take a picture of you while you read your book? And they would do it. And it's like, I'm not saying, oh, I love directing people, ha ha ha. It was more like, it was so natural to want something from someone, and then they do it without it feeling like a hostile exchange. Like, I want something from them, so they have to give it to me. It was more like, hey, could you do this? Like, oh yeah, totally. And it felt so at ease. I felt so at peace. And so that's one experience that I really, really, really want to live again. So, yeah. Whew. That was a lot. That came out of me like nothing. We're nearing the 30-minute mark, and I just want to say, I'll stop with the whole thank yous for listening, but I'm going to say that episode 6 is going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to be having a new artwork, hopefully, if the artiste is willing to help me. And I'm trying to think of other things to say before the last minute is over. I would apologize for the lateness of the podcast, but I won't, because do not want to bother you with that anymore. At this point, it's freestyling. When the podcast comes out, it comes out. We just celebrate good times. Come on. Try not to be as perfect. Just be who you are. And I'm not saying it in the cliche way, who you are is the best person. No, I'm just saying, like, be who you are in that sense of what you want to do, just do it. Don't try and perfect it. Don't try to overthink it. Don't try and make it more than it should be. Just do it. And if it feels right, it'll feel right, and you'll do it right. That's all you need to know. Don't cater to some weird demon in your head, because that shit will take you for a ride. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Nexa, and this was Conversations with Self-Sabotager. Peace. Oh, I got 7 seconds left. Oh. Yeah.